Hey guys, time for Tech News Day.
The artificial intelligence is increasingly popping up in more technology that we use every day, and it's likely that in the next few years or decades, we will be entrusting AI with stuff like driving our cars and flying our planes.
What could go wrong?
It's scary for a lot of people for a ton of very valid reasons, but also scary thanks to about 100 years of science fiction telling us that this is how we all end up dead. Which is why tech companies give their AI products names like Siri and Alexa and not Skynet or HAL 9000.
Yeah.
Recently though, a team of scientists at MIT decided, hey, screw it. Let's intentionally train an AI to be a violent psychopath just to see what happens.
That way you can contain it. Once you learn, you can contain it. Here he is, Norman, the world's first psychopath AI. And yeah, that's Norman Bates from the movie Psycho with some sort of cybernetic shit on his face. Calm down though, that's just a drawing. Norman at this point only exists digitally, and won't be luring you into his cyber hotel to murder you while you shower anytime soon, which is nice. But okay, what exactly is a psychopathic AI? Well, in this case, Norman is an AI trained to do image captioning, which is pretty common nowadays. You show an AI a ton of images and captions, and then it's able to caption images on its own, to varying degrees of success. It just learns and then mimics that and grows from it.
It usually just sees dogs and cats everywhere.
Or becomes a Twitter account that loses all grasp of,
With
being
Norman,
a decent person.
With Norman though, all the source data they trained him with was all from Reddit. In particular, an infamous subreddit that's dedicated to document and observe the disturbing reality of death, which they don't name the subreddit, but it sounds like it's probably r/watch people die.
Or morbid reality.
More reality is like the high class watch people die.
Luckily they didn't send it to Ogrish or Rotten.
Is Rotten still around?
They need to do an AI that is literally the same age as like artificially mentally the same age as us, and only have it exist on the internet from between 1999 to 2004, and just on like Rotten, 4chan, all that stuff back then, and just see what happens. Because chances are, it's probably posting Pepe memes.
Probably.
Yeah.
But so they fed young Norman's impressionable, young, sponge-like AI mind exclusively with death, and then asked him what he saw in a bunch of ink blots, while also showing the same ink blots to a normal, non-psychopathic AI. The results are pretty much what you would expect.
What does the non-psychopath AI look at?
The same ink blots. But
No, but like how does it learn? What does it look like?
Just like Google images or some shit.
Just nice stuff?
I didn't write the paper.
Well, anyways, where a standard AI sees a group of birds sitting on top of a tree branch, Norman sees a man is electrocuted and catches to death. What? Okay. Catches what? Is that how they wrote it?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not a grammar bot.
Oh, well, yeah, that's cool. Instead of a close-up of a vase with flowers, Norman sees a man is shot dead. I think he's just rewriting headlines from these things.
It kind of sounds like that.
Instead of a black and white photo of a small bird, Norman sees man gets pulled into dough machine. Holy fuck. Instead of a black and white photo of a baseball glove, Norman sees man is murdered by machine gun in broad daylight. Instead of a person is holding an umbrella in the air, Norman sees man is shot dead in front of his screaming wife. Instead of a black and white photo of a red and white umbrella, Norman sees man gets electrocuted while attempting to cross the street. And this goes on, obviously.
Yeah.
So
you get the picture.
Based on what I'm reading, they showed the one AI Mary Poppins. And
a lot of umbrellas.
Yeah, a lot of birds.
But also baseball, which they don't have in England. So
well, they got that other one where you tap it with the long bat, wide bat.
I think it's called wide bat.
It's a wide bat, right? Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, of course none of these results are surprising at all, considering that Norman was raised on snuff films. But that's kind of the point the researchers are making here, in a very heavy-handed way. They wrote, when people talk about AI algorithms being biased and unfair, the culprit is often not the algorithm itself, but the biased data that was fed to it.
Oh, just like humans.
Yeah.
Now, my dad says that, anyways, yeah. And then fill in the blanks, because it could be anything.
We already knew this, though, thanks to Tay.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. The AI that Microsoft unleashed onto Twitter 2 years ago to learn how to behave based on its Twitter interactions, which of course led to Tay being euthanized after just 16 hours when she turned into a hate-spewing edgelord.
So Norman isn't exactly groundbreaking, but he's pretty par for the course for the team behind him. Previous studies from this MIT team include Nightmare Machine, in which an AI was trained to make normal photographs look creepy and unsettling, and then Shelley, an AI trained to collaborate with writers on horror stories. But speaking of AIs writing stories though, back in 2016, Thomas Middleditch of Silicon Valley starred in a short film called Sunspring that was written entirely by an AI and was fed a bunch of science fiction movie scripts, and the results, they were weird as hell. But now the team behind Sunspring has taken the idea even further with a new short film called Zone Out that is significantly weirder.
Yeah, so for Zone Out, rather than just have the AI named Benjamin write the script, this time they had Benjamin do basically everything by feeding Benjamin footage from some old public domain sci-fi movies, along with video captured of actors Thomas Middleditch and Elizabeth Gray, which the AI then pasted onto the footage a la deep fakes.
Wow.
The end result is complete and utter nonsense with a slight David Lynch flavor. All the dialogue is text-to-speech. The characters' faces change between the two actors, sometimes in the same shot, and the script makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. The music, which is also AI generated, not half bad, but also feels totally out of place.
It's a Taryn Southern joint. She wrote that AI album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now watching this feels like you're having a stroke, so I don't know, at least for now, we probably don't have to worry about AI stealing any filmmaking jobs.
Yet.
Huzzah.
Not yet. Although, with what's happening with the DC universe, I am convinced an AI is behind it.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen Kevin Tsujihara's legs?
No, because he
wheels down
has
there.
8 legs and they're mechanical.
Yes.
He's a steampunk creation.
Tsujihara is actually ancient Japanese for spider legs.
Spider-Man.
Shit.
Got
Got the wrong franchise.
Let's move on. Here's some good news for VR though, even though it's a bit late. The Void is getting a bunch of new locations across the US, and Dave & Buster's has cut a deal with HTC to bring the Vive to its arcades. If you're unfamiliar with The Void, it's a company who for a few years now has been creating VR experiences where you show up, you get fitted with a headset and a backpack, and maybe like a VR gun, and then you're free to walk around an actual physical environment untethered. Walls and other objects in VR are also real physical objects around you that you can reach out and touch. It's a much more immersive VR experience than you're going to get at home. Also has terrifying applications if this was to be maybe a haunted house and things could just move, and yeah, it would be very weird.
Until now, The Void has only had one dedicated standalone VR center at their home base in Utah.
Of all places.
Along with storefront VR locations at malls in the US, Canada, UK, and the UAE with branded content like Ghostbusters and Star Wars.
But I don't want to be a woman in the VR experience.
Actually, they have one at the Glendale Galleria. I need to go check it out. It's the Star Wars one. And that's apparently all done well enough that they've now secured a ton of new financing, and they now plan to open 9 more experience centers in Atlanta, Austin, Dallas, LA, Minneapolis, New York, Philadelphia, Santa Monica, and Washington, D.C. This, along with the news that Dave & Buster's locations are going to be offering VR experiences specifically developed for an arcade environment, is all great news, considering that actually owning a VR setup at home is still prohibitively expensive for most people.
Yeah.
Kind of a pain in the ass.
The Dave & Buster's thing, a little bit worrisome. You got a bunch of drunk people putting VR on. Not gonna end well. You're gonna have to have someone clean that shit up. Also, I don't know how they'll do it, but they will definitely figure out a way to have the VR headset start printing tickets out so you can turn them in for a pencil topper.
Yeah, you want to impress that date of yours?
Yeah.
Get her the biggest bear they've got.
Every game in Dave & Buster's, I only know this because I went once recently, every game is just gambling for children.
Yeah.
There is no actual games. There's like a couple, like Cruising USA, but every game is just like a mod of a game that exists in order to get you to win tickets to buy useless shit.
But they don't let kids in there past like 8 p.m., right?
Time for the parents to have some fun.
Yeah.
But like, what do you...
This is Daddy's arcade.
It's bad. It's a not great place. It's cool if you like stupid games and beer, but whatever. You'll go for the VR. Anyways, it's time to check in with our boy Phil about some more news, like what's going on with net neutrality in this country. Spoiler, it's not good.
Oh.
All right, no need to fast forward to my segment today because E3 parties scooped my brain out and I can't think, so this one's gonna be short.
Woo!
Net neutrality is dead, and if you're watching this, yep, okay, things aren't totally ruined yet. So here's a realistic timeline of what you're probably gonna, deal with net neutrality all gone. So first, you're gonna see more zero rating from telecoms, which is when you see T-Mobile giving you free Netflix data. It doesn't get charged against your data cap. So this is gonna let internet providers favor companies and kind of create some competition issues, but the average person's day is not gonna get ruined by that. Next, we're gonna see states continuing to fight for net neutrality and passing their own laws state by state, which is obviously a win. And hopefully these rules will be enforced, but yeah, it's a bummer that it's gonna be different in Tennessee, from Colorado, and California. But hey, I'll take what I can get. But then, in like 2 years, when the average person forgot what net neutrality was, they're gonna start fucking us with throttling and price hikes and worse service, and I don't know, man, make up your own terrible future. But the juicy part that makes me kind of happy is the FCC now has to prove that they were actually hacked back in 2017. Remember when John Oliver did that segment urging everyone to leave a comment, like, hey, net neutrality is good, over on the FCC's website? And then the FCC site magically went down due to a DDoS attack, according to them. Well, a couple of senators want proof of this, like a while later, and sent a letter to AgitPi with the final paragraph starting with this sentence. Please answer these questions in writing by June 27th, 2018. That's way too fucking polite if you ask me, and kidding aside, I honestly think the FCC will never publicly answer them because they don't have to let their answer be public. They're gonna let loose some super redacted stuff because the FCC is run by terrible, cowardly people. AgitPi. Hold on a second. Hold on, bro. I gotta keep mining for Bitcoin on my iPhone. Okay, so that was a shockingly accurate dramatic reenactment, but unfortunately, that's not gonna be reality anymore because Apple has banned apps that mine for cryptocurrency from the App Store. I give this story a strong who fucking cares rating because honestly, if you're using your iPhone to mine for crypto, we're probably not friends. What this does prevent in a good way is shady apps can't build in the functionality to steal your phone's processing power to mine for crypto in the background in exchange for whatever free bullshit app they give you, like a Facetune app that gets rid of zits, or a Candy Crush clone, or I don't know, fake Fortnite or whatever. And finally, Facebook. Facebook's gonna have to change their sign back to "It's been 0 days since we last fucked up" because a bug made the private posts of 14 million people viewable to not just anybody, but people who weren't even logged into Facebook. First, Facebook is having a really, really bad year and snafus like this aren't making it any easier for them. But we're kind of in a post-privacy society if you've been following the news at all. And everybody knows that all the data you have in your phone or in the cloud or in your email or shared with any company out there ever is basically public. Everyone knows it, but not everybody has really processed it and gotten to the core to go be hey, my whole life is out there. It's kind of tough to wrap our human brains around the concept that we might actually be in a terrible simulation. Or hell, I mean, take your pick, but we are moving towards a full societal backlash against Facebook and other social networks like that, so that's nice because they're not really fun anymore a decade or two in, and we realize we're kind of the product, and they do silly stuff like let foreign countries influence presidential elections, oh shucks. So yeah, this is just another whoopsie for a company who's struggling to have a public image that's not totally radioactive right now. I mean, in April, Facebook released an ad where they tell everyone that they're gonna do everything they can to deal with spam, clickbait, and fake news. Hey Facebook, those things were practically invented on your social network. The meth was made in your lab and you're like, oh, we gotta clean up the streets. How did this drug problem get so bad? So fuck you, Facebook, your toxic product is now being seen for what it really is, and sorry, if you're posting shit on Facebook and mad that your post was made public, your naivete is equally as part of the problem as bad as Facebook is awful. So, see, I was in a good mood when I came here, now I'm in a bad mood. I'm gonna go to an E3 party and get in a better mood. I'll see y'all there.
Whew. Wow, Phil, thank you for your weekly dose of terrible. Net neutrality, a real roller coaster ride for the entire country.
Thanks, FCC Chairman AgitPi.
And now here's the part where we let you know that this episode is sponsored by Udemy, the largest marketplace for online learning. Whether you want to learn something new or just sharpen your skills, Udemy has an extensive library of over 65,000 courses taught by expert instructors. Ever find yourself thinking, I wish I could do that? With Udemy, you can.
I wish I could do that.
Now you can.
From web development to digital marketing to Japanese cooking courses, Udemy has something for everyone. While other online learning companies charge hundreds of dollars per class, Udemy courses start at just $11.99. Plus, each course comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee for risk-free learning. Every day, students around the world choose Udemy to discover new passions, expand their skills, and even change careers. Improve your life through learning. Download the Udemy app to learn anytime, anywhere, or visit www.ude.my/newsday today. That's www.ude.my/newsday.
All right, there's still some more tech news this week. A video that does a really great job explaining hacking, specifically phishing attacks that steal people's login info, came to us from an unlikely source. Nathan Fielder, star of Nathan For You, possibly the funniest TV show in existence. If you're not familiar with Nathan For You, I don't really want to spoil it though. But anyways, it's a reality show in which Nathan Fielder helps out real business owners by giving them advice that is questionable at best.
And they just go with it. It's the true, when people say social experiment, Nathan For You he's really doing social experiments out there about compliance.
Also, the finale of his last season was a beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, it really resonated emotionally. I didn't expect that.
Despite what we're very much in love with this show, but we're still underselling it.
Yeah.
It's great. Just watch it. Anyways, Nathan For You is really pushing for an Emmy nomination this year, and while most shows do their lobbying by putting up billboards all over Los Angeles and mailing DVDs to voters, Nathan has taken things a step further by releasing a video showing exactly how someone could hack the Emmys voting system if they wanted to.
In the video, Nathan enlists the expertise of election cybersecurity expert Karsten Sherman, who last year at a hacking convention hacked into a Virginia state voting booth live on camera in under an hour. So he knows what he's doing. Sherman demonstrates to Nathan in detail how a hacker could use fake but convincing websites and emails to trick Emmys voters into handing over their voting logins. And it ends up being a whole lot easier than you might assume. This is, of course, a comedy video, though, so the joke here is that given what we've learned, we shouldn't trust any Emmys results that don't include Nathan For You being nominated. They've clearly been hacked.
Yeah.
But it's also probably the best demonstration we've seen of how an attack of this kind works.
Yeah.
So, well done, Nathan.
But in other news, if you're heading to Japan this week and have opted to stay in an Airbnb instead of a hotel, you should probably double check on that because the Japanese government just made the vast majority of Airbnbs in their country illegal and forced the site to remove the listings. This is thanks to a new law forcing Airbnb renters to register their rentals with the government and only rent them out for 180 days a year or less. So that little spot in Kyoto I bought is now going to ruin my life. No, I wish though, it's a nice place. This is just the latest example of similar laws that have popped up all over the world over the last few years in response to Airbnb.
Yeah, you may be wondering why big government's messing with one of the best things that happened to travel in a long time, and the answer is that while Airbnb is great for travelers and great for people with some extra space in their home, it's fucking terrible for the housing market. Every house or apartment that's being rented out full-time on Airbnb is a house or apartment that is unavailable to actually live in. It creates housing scarcity in places where, at least on paper, there shouldn't be, which in turn drives up costs because of supply and demand.
So in big cities, including here in LA, it's created a nightmare scenario where needing to move involves choosing between an increasingly small and expensive pool of options when there is in fact a ton of vacant housing around that's simply not being rented out the traditional way because there's more money in Airbnb. If you are actually heading to Japan this week and your plans just got fucked, Airbnb is giving full refunds along with a $100 credit. So you're not completely screwed over, but the future of Airbnb looking a bit dimmer now that regulation is increasingly catching up with what has for years been a pretty unregulated business. It was another thing where the consumer won.
Yeah.
But everyone else failed, including just normal good people who wanted a place to live.
Yeah.
So,
Whoops.
yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, that's our show, everyone. Please be sure to head over to our new channel, Internet Today. Do it today. To subscribe so you can continue seeing our videos because we're just 2 weeks away from this channel being officially donezo.
Yeah.
All your favorite shows, like this one, are going to continue to live on over there starting next month. And in the meantime, we've already started posting some new daily news videos on that channel to get everyone nice and comfortable. We've been covering E3.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
Yes.
Click that link down in the description to head over to Internet Today.
And hit the bell.
And smash that bell.
And support the Patreon.
And Patreon.
And follow us on Twitter.
And buy that merch.
Yeah. And then
All I want for Christmas is that Internet Today merch. That Internet Today merch.
that's a Paul song, right?
I think
That's
so.
a Paul Brothers joint?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyways, check out the other videos too. Let's just put the Internet Today videos there.
Yeah.
There they go.
Fuck it.
And yeah, subscribe. We're about to hit 100,000. We love
So
you for
close.
it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.